right, so let's go ahead and start on our backs. So go ahead and lay down. Bring your legs long or to butterfly, whatever feels most comfortable. You can rest the hands alongside the body, or you can rest them on the belly and the heart. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. Hold it at the top. Let it go through the mouth. One more deep breath like that. Fill up. And then hold it at the top. Maybe this time a little extra sip of air. And then when you're ready, release it through the mouth. Begin to connect to your Ujjayi breath. Let's just take these first moments at the beginning of our class before we begin to move our bodies to just check in with our bodies. Check in with how we're physically feeling, how we're mentally feeling, and just where we are today. So if your mind is somewhere else, try to bring it here onto your mat. Have these 60 minutes to just be present in the body and the breath. Maybe take a moment before we begin to move to set an intention for our practice. Again, that could be something physical, be something mental, maybe something emotional. And take 5 more deep breaths here. As we complete the exhale, continue to breathe and bring your knees into your chest. Draw some circles with your knees. And switch directions. Come back towards center. Hug the knees in tight. And then release the knees to the right. Extend the arms and look to the left. One more deep breath into the belly. As we exhale, draw the belly button back toward the spine. Engage your core. Come back through center and release your knees to the left. Extend your arms, gaze to the right. One more deep belly breath. As we exhale, engage the core. And then come back towards center. Keep the right knee pulled into the chest. Extend the left leg long on the mat. Interlace your hands around your right knee. Pull your knee off to the right and up toward your right shoulder. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. Draw the elbows in, finding a nice deep compression in the right hip. Relax the grip on the knee, bring it back towards center and extend your leg up. Take hands behind the thigh and start to walk them up the back of the leg, just stretching through the hamstring. Again, flex and point the right foot, warming up through the calf, the hamstring, and the ankle. And then from here, just take the forehead toward the knee. Hold here. Nice engagement of the core, deep stretch of the hamstring, and release. And switch sides. So draw the left knee in toward the chest, hands around the knee. Pull the knee around the ribs and up toward the shoulder. Elbows stay in, flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. Really use the strength of your arms to pull your knee in a little bit tighter, compressing your left hip. Bring that knee back towards center, extend the leg up. Hands behind the back of the thigh. You can start to walk the hands up the back of the leg. You can flex and point the left foot. And then bring the forehead toward the left knee. Hold here. And release. One more hug of the knees, a little roll on the spine, and come into a tabletop position. Stack your joints, bringing shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Nice flat back in tabletop position, and let's take some cat-cow. So inhale, release the belly, lift through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Exhale, round. So at this point, really start to connect your breath to your movement. Last round, one of each, cat and cow. And come back to tabletop position. From here, we're going to swing that right leg to the right, extend your left leg to the back of the mat, keep your right hand on the mat, and then lift the left arm up. So we're in modified side plank. You can take the gaze up toward the fingertips, or you can keep your gaze down on the floor to help you with your balance. Start to extend, reach that left arm toward the front of the mat. Hold here, really active through the fingertips. And then option to lift the left leg off the floor. Okay, from here, draw the elbow to the knee and round like you're coming into cat pose. And then extend straight out and round. Extend. And this time, kick that left leg back. Take your left hand, reach for the left foot, and then open through the front side of the body. So start to kick the foot into the hand and just open through the chest. And again, gaze can be on the floor, you can take it up. And come back to modified side plank and release back to tabletop position. And we'll take it on the other side. So swing that left leg out, extend the right leg to the back of the mat. Lift that right arm up. And then start to reach the right fingertips toward the front of the mat. Stay really active through that right hand. Big stretch down your right side. And then lift that left or right leg off the floor. Hold here, really active, reaching through the ball of the foot. And then we're gonna round like we're doing cat pose. Bring elbow to knee, squeeze it in, extend, and squeeze it in. Extend, and then kick that right foot back and take the right hand, reach around for the right foot. Kick the foot into the hand and just start to open up through the shoulder and the chest, your quad, your hip. And again, gaze at the floor or gaze up, opening through the throat. Extend back to modified side plank and release tabletop position. Good, and from here we'll make our way to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips high up and back, and release the heels down toward the floor. And start to find some movement here in downward facing dog. You can pedal the feet. You can sway the hips side to side. And continue to breathe deeply. 3 more breaths here in our first downward facing dog. You can find stillness if you'd like for your last 3 breaths. And complete this exhale. Lift your right leg high on the inhale, 3-legged dog. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog, lift that right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step through. Release your left knee to the floor, half splits pose. Start to straighten through the right leg and then forward fold over the right leg. An option here to play with the flex and the point of the right foot, getting into the calf and Achilles, and the shin and the front of the leg. Complete the exhale here. Take an inhale, come up to a halfway lift, flat back, and then exhale, lunge forward onto that right leg. Keep the left hand on the floor and reach that right arm up. So we're in twisting lunge. Keep the hips level, squeeze your inner thighs toward one another as if they were touching. Hold here for one more inhale. And exhale, release that right hand to the floor. On your next inhale, come into standing splits pose. So just pop off that left foot, lift the left leg straight up, keep your hips level so left hip stays in line with the right. Begin to straighten through your right leg. Take one more inhale here, and then exhale, left foot meets the right, come into forward fold. We're going to take the hands into gorilla pose. So go ahead and lift up your toes, slide your hands, palms face up underneath your feet, toes rest in the wrist creases. And we'll start to draw the elbows off to the outer edges of the mat as we reach the forehead down toward the floor. So we're active in the arms, but we're nice and loose in the neck. So you should be able to wobble the head. Take one more full breath here. And release the hands out from underneath the feet. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Hold here for another full breath. So draw the shoulders back and away from the ears. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, release back to forward fold. On the inhale, rise all the way up to tall mountain. And then as we exhale, we're gonna cross the right foot over the left, take the left hand to the belly, and then start to side bend to the left. Reach through the right fingertips, and then just feel your belly with your hand and feel the engagement, okay? So we're not collapsing into the side bend. We're staying really engaged and lifted. And then release, come all the way back up and switch sides. So left ankle is gonna cross over the right hand to low belly, left arm reaches up and across. Okay, so stay stable here and feel your core engaging, drawing that belly button back toward the spine. So we're not collapsing into the side bend. We're staying engaged and lifted. And then come back towards center, lift both arms up overhead, and then take both hands to low back. Draw the elbows back and start to press the hips forward and take a little back bend here. So it's like we're doing a standing camel pose. Start to open through the throat and the chest. And then come back towards center and just slide your hands down your legs and come into forward fold. Inhale, monkey, and exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on the floor, step back to plank pose. Hold here in plank, and then we're gonna take that right ankle, cross it over the left ankle. Good, and just start to rock back and forth in this cross-legged plank pose, coming up onto the toes as if you're gonna go into chaturanga. One more. And then uncross the legs and switch the cross of the legs, left ankle over right, and just start to rock back and forth. And uncross the legs, slowly lower all the way down, elbows stay in. Okay, we're gonna start here with low lift cobra, so keep the hands as they are, tops of the feet flat to the floor, elbows squeeze in, inhale, just peel the chest off the floor. Now hold here, take the hands off the floor, feel all the muscles along your spine engaging. Inhale, exhale, release. Now move your hands back about an inch so they're in line with the ribs. And on the inhale, peel up, medium lift cobra, so we're coming all the way up past the belly button. Squeeze those elbows in. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Move your hands back about another inch. This time, press all the way up to straight arms if you can. If not, stay in low lift cobra. Okay, don't lock out the elbows, soft bend in the elbows, but we're getting a really big stretch along the front side of the body. Okay, from here, take your chin to your right shoulder. Look to the right. Big stretch in the left side of your neck. And then come back towards center. Take the chin to the left shoulder. Come back towards center, and then just roll all the way down nice and slow. Take the hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, press up plank pose, and back to downward facing dog. Another breath here. Lift that left leg, inhale, knee to nose, exhale. Left leg lifts, inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step through. Take your back knee to the floor, half splits on this side, so start to straighten through that left leg, forward fold over the left leg, stretching through the left hamstring. Draw that left hip back in line with the right. You can play with the flex and the point of the left foot. So you'll feel this in your calf, your Achilles, the shin, the top and front of your foot. Come up to a halfway lift so you have a nice flat back. You're pressing your chest forward and then come forward, low lunge. So bend into that left leg, knee over the left ankle. And then pop off that back foot, standing splits pose. As we lift that right leg high, just lower the head toward the floor. Keep your two hips in one line, your 5 toes pointed down toward the floor. One more inhale. And exhale, right foot meets the left, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise high, tall mountain. Let's go through some series of some sun salutations, just building some heat in the body and the breath. Cactus the arms as we exhale. Inhale, tall mountain. And exhale, forward fold. Come all the way down. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step back, plank pose, inhale, and lower chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths in downward facing dog. Last full breath. On the exhale, come forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise high, tall mountain. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey, and this time on your exhale, chaturanga. You can step or float back, come halfway or all the way down. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Take it at your own pace, at the pace of your breath. Inhale. Complete the exhale, step or float forward. Inhale, rise high, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, the bottom of your exhale, step or float. Forward fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Monkey, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Do one more on your own at your own pace with the sound of your breath. On your next inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Inhale, extend through the spine. And exhale, release. We're gonna hold half pigeon for 10 breaths. So just really settle into the pose. Let the hips release and relax. start to press back up onto the hands. Tuck your back toes under, and we're gonna come back to three-legged dog. So lift that right leg off the floor, extend it high up and back, and then open that hip, bend the leg. On the next inhale, straighten out that leg, square the hip, and then exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow and set the foot down on the floor. Good. Release your left heel to the floor and extend your left arm up. Squeeze your obliques to lift your hips. Okay, take one more inhale here. Exhale, take that left hand to the floor, and you're gonna keep your left hand on the floor and bring your right foot to meet your left and your right arm up toward the sky, okay? So we're in side plank, it's on the opposite side now. All right, now extend your right arm toward the front of your mat. And same thing that we did at the beginning of class, in modified side plank, bring elbow to knee. Extend. And one more time, bring elbow to knee. Extend. Now come back to plank. Cross your right ankle over your left. Hold here. Now we're going to come into standing splits at the back of our mat. So we're gonna lift our right leg up as we walk our hands back. Okay, so you should be standing splits on your left leg at the back of your mat. And from here, go ahead and bring your right knee behind your left, squat down, Jiva squat. Extend your right leg up. Exhale again. Squeeze it in. Last time. Extend and squeeze. Bring your right leg high, and then you're gonna walk your hands forward and come into low lunge at the front of your mat. So kind of a tricky transition there. Try and control your leg as it comes through. Good, very nice. All right, inhale, come up to crescent lunge. Good. Settle into the pose. Get nice and low in that front leg. Your back heel stays lifted. Active through your fingertips and really strong through your arms. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Hinge forward and touch your pinkies to your thigh. Okay, so have that little attachment there. And then you're gonna start to lift your left leg off the floor. Good, keep contact with your hands to your sternum and your thigh. Okay, so just a modified standing splits pose. And then keep your hands at your heart. Left foot's gonna meet right, and we're gonna come into chair pose. Hold here, inhale. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift that left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon on the other side. Extend long through the spine, reach up, open through the front side of the body, and then release. Settle in for about 10 breaths. Come back up onto the hands. Tuck your back toe under. Lift that knee and then lift your left knee off the floor to float. And then three-legged dog. Press it all the way high up and back. Open the hip, bend the leg. On the next inhale, straighten out the leg. Left hip in line with right. And then bring your left knee to your right elbow. Place the foot on the floor. Release your right heel to the floor and lift your right arm up. Maybe look up toward the fingertips. Then just really squeeze your sides to lift your hips. You should feel a nice compression in your left obliques. And then release, right hand to the floor. Right hand's gonna stay on the floor. Left foot's gonna meet right, and left arm's gonna reach up. So we're in side plank on the other side. Reach your left hand toward the front of your mat. And then just like we did on the other side, left elbow to left knee. Squeeze, extend, squeeze, extend. Last time, squeeze, extend, and come into plank pose. Cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Good. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Standing splits at the back of your mat, so walk your hands back as we lift that left leg up. Soon as we arrive in standing splits at the back of our mat, release the head toward the floor. Point all 5 toes down toward the mat. Inhale here, exhale, squat. 2 more, inhale, extend, exhale, squat. Last time, inhale, extend, exhale, squat. All right, extend that leg back up and we're gonna walk forward, low lunge at the front of our mat. So take that leg, reach it through, try to do it without touching if possible, and then rise up. Crescent lunge, settle into the pose, get low, draw the tailbone down. If that means we bend the knee to make it happen, that's good. And then you can just start to straighten out the leg, finding strength in that quad, flexibility in your right hip flexor. Okay, from here, bring your hands to your heart. Bring your pinkies to your thigh. Keep this connection and then rock forward. So we're in a modified standing splits pose. Hold here for another breath. And then as we exhale, bring right foot to meet left. Chair with hands at heart center. Inhale. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Full breath here. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale to crescent, rise up nice and slow with the breath. Exhale, warrior 2. Plant that heel to the floor. Draw your right knee toward your right pinky toe. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. Soft gaze across your front fingertips. Nice strong quadricep in your left leg. So working toward a straight leg. On the inhale, 5-pointed star, rise up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart, sink down. Prayer squat. Hold here for another full breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess pose. Bring your arms to 90 degrees, palms face in. Nice and strong through your arms. Inhale, come all the way up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sun god, arms come straight. We squat back down, palms face up. Inhale, 5-pointed star, lift up. And exhale, moon god. So bring elbows in, palms face out. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, come back into prayer squat. Take your hands to your knees, thumbs face in, dip that left shoulder in, look to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, dip your right shoulder in, look to the left. Come back towards center. And then exhale, forward fold. So just bring your heels behind your toes, slide your hands down your legs, and let your head hang heavy down toward the floor. Any arm variation is fine. Slow down your breath in this inversion with the head below the heart. Keep your legs nice and tightly engaged. Last full breath in standing straddle splits. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to 5-pointed star. Exhale, take warrior 2 to the front of the mat. On the inhale, let's take reverse triangle. So straighten that front leg up and back. Left hand slides down the left leg, right arm up and back, and then shift forward for Trikonasana triangle pose. Right hand to the floor, left hand up toward the sky. Gaze can be either on the floor for balance or up toward the fingertips if you feel comfortable and balanced. On your next inhale, come all the way back to reverse triangle. So stretch through your right side and then exhale, half moon pose. So take a slight bend to your right leg and then lift that left leg off the floor. Float it up behind. Stack your shoulders and your hips and then flex those left toes back toward your face. You can have the hand on a block, on the floor, on your shin, your ankle. Okay, so bring your left hand to the floor, square off your hips, and then set your left foot down, not a full long stance, a couple feet behind you. Good. Now bring your left heel to the floor. Good. So we're coming into pyramid pose. So draw your two hips so they're in line with one another. That'll mostly mean bringing your right hip back and your left hip forward. And we'll just forward fold over the right leg. We're working toward a straight leg, but if it's bent, that's fine. Continue to breathe. All right, so on your inhale, halfway lift as if you're doing monkey pose. Really firm up through your legs and then bring your arms off to the side for core pyramid pose. Really reach through the fingertips. Keep your head in line with the spine. So your gaze is down at the floor, right past your right toes. Hold here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Walk that left foot back so you're in low lunge. Inhale, step back plank, vinyasa, okay? Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Big breath here. And inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge, step through. On your inhale, rise up to crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior 2. Plant your right heel on the floor. Find heel to arch alignment. Press the outer edge of your back foot into the floor. Left knee is reaching toward the left pinky toe, so you can see your left big toe when you look down. Hips and shoulders are open to the side, but the gaze is across the front fingertips. Last full breath here. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And exhale, this time we'll go right to proarita. So bring your heels behind your toes, hinge forward with a flat back. Come all the way down. One more breath in proarita, padottanasana. Okay, halfway lift, inhale. We're gonna walk our hands to the back of our mat and come into a squat on our right leg. Good, so Spencer, face this side. Yeah, awesome, good. And then just bend all the way into that right leg. You can even lift your left heel off, or the left toes off the floor. Maybe bring your hands to your heart. Big stretch for your left inner thigh. And then we're gonna walk our hands back toward the front of our mat and lunge onto the left leg. Maybe lift your right toes off the floor if you feel balanced, but that's optional. Maybe bring your hands to your heart if you feel balanced, that's optional as well. Last full breath. And bring your hands to the floor if they're not there already. Walk back to center, so come into standing straddle splits. Release your forehead toward the floor, and then inhale, rise up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front of your mat. Inhale, reverse triangle pose. Straighten through that left leg. Right hand slides down the back leg. Left arm reaches up and back. And then exhale, triangle pose. Reach left arm forward. And then keep your arms in line with one another. Left hand comes to the floor or a block or your shin. Right arm comes up toward the sky. If your hand is on your shin, that's fine. Just don't put a lot of weight onto your shin, so you don't want to stress your knee joint. So we're staying lifted and engaged through our core and not collapsing into the pose. Last breath here in triangle pose. On your inhale, reverse triangle. So use your core to lift you up and then stretch as you come back. And then we're gonna come into half moon pose. So take a little bend to that left leg and then pop off that right leg and float the right leg out behind you. Stack your hips and your shoulders. Reach the right arm up. And again, your left hand will be either resting on a block, the floor, or your shin, ankle. Stay nice and long through your spine, so your head is in line with the spine. You're just rotating your head for your gaze. One more full breath in half moon pose. And then we'll be releasing in preparation for pyramid pose. So you'll just take your right hand to the floor, take your right hip in line with your left, and then take your foot to the floor about 3 feet behind your left foot. Now square off the hips. So that's gonna mean pulling your left hip back, your right hip forward. Imagine that your inner thighs are touching, so squeeze them together and really tighten up through your midline. Good. And then you can release your forehead toward your toes. And once again, it's okay if that left leg is bent. We're working it in the direction of straight, and we're really working on keeping those hips squared and the inner thighs squeezing in. Let's make our way to core pyramid. So come up to a halfway lift first. So you have a flat back, head is in line with the spine. If you feel supported in your legs, nice tight legs, reach your arms off to the side. Squeeze your triceps, reach through your fingertips. Last inhale and exhale, hands to the floor. Step your right foot back so you're in a nice long low lunge, and then vinyasa. Step your left foot back, lower. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, and release onto your mat. Grab a drink. Calm the breath. Okay, so make your way down onto your back. And once you're on your back, find butterfly legs. You can take the soles of your feet together, walk your hips towards your heels, and just lower down. Let your knees rest down toward the floor. And then press the soles of your feet together. Press your low back down onto the floor. And then extend your arms forward and lift your shoulders off the floor. Hold here. Get those shoulders all the way off the floor, all the way up to the edge of your shoulder blades. And then we're gonna just lift and lower. Okay, now you have the option, if you want to up level, to lift your feet off the floor and really press the soles of your feet into one another. And this is 3. And 2, and 1. Okay, so just roll up so you're in butterfly pose. We're gonna take butterfly pose stretch now. Bring your elbows towards your knees, hinge forward, reach the crown of your head forward. Stay nice and long through the spine. Continue to breathe deeply. Now for your last couple of breaths, if you'd like a stretch in the back of your neck and your upper back, just very slowly and gently release your forehead toward your toes. If we're rounded forward, lengthen again. Come all the way back up to a seat. Okay, so we're gonna be in butterfly legs on our stomach now. So go ahead and come forward. We're gonna just do a little spine strengthening, and we're also continuing to stretch through the hips and the thighs. So you're gonna come like you're coming into child's pose, and then just come down onto your mat. So the soles of your feet are still touching. It's a little bit awkward, but this is gonna be really good for you. I promise, it's worth it. All right, you're gonna bring your forehead onto your hands. You can peek at me if you need to. Press the soles of your feet together so they're probably not touching the floor. And then you're gonna just start to lift your knees off the floor. Lift and lower. And this is 3 and 2 and 1. Now extend your legs so they're about mat distance apart. Bring your arms to capital T. Okay, and lift everything off the floor now. So we're getting upper back, spinal strengthening. Last breath. And release, bring your right ear onto the mat and just breathe deeply here. All right, bring your chin back to the mat. This time we'll keep the legs as they are, and bring your hands, interlace them at the base of your neck. Or sorry, the base of your skull, base of your head. And then from here, just lift your chest off the floor and tap your forehead to the floor. Lift and lower. Just 3 more of these. Hold it up and tap your left elbow to the floor and your right elbow to the floor. And just 3 more of these. 2, 1, come back to center, and arms alongside the body. Rest your left ear on the mat. Breathe deeply. Last breath here. Okay, press all the way up, come back to a seat. All right, we're gonna make our way into boat pose, Navasana. So extend your legs out in front of you, extend your arms out in front of you, and just lift your feet off the floor. Legs bent or straight, chest lifted, arms reaching, and arms are engaged. Hold here for 3 more breaths. Last full breath. Nice focus, everyone. Okay, we're gonna come into upward angle pose. So you're gonna take your peace fingers, bend your legs, wrap them around your big toes. Okay, so if this is where you stay today, this is fine. Just keep your chest lifted. If you can, we'll start to extend the legs up. Okay, and it's okay if they're not straight. Shoulders away from the ears, chest stays lifted, so it's like a supported boat pose. Okay, and then for the inner thigh stretch, these are just options, okay? You can spread your legs, keep your chest lifted. We're driving the chest forward. Good, and it's okay if we lose our balance and roll and fall backwards. Continue to breathe. All right, we're gonna bring the left leg in, cross that right foot over the left knee, plant the foot on the floor, half floor to the fishes, take your right hand out behind, left arm reaches up and over and hooks to the outside of the knee. Keep the shoulders stacked right over the hips. Option to half bind or full bind. And release, and we're gonna switch sides. So right leg comes to the floor, left leg comes up and over. Get your sitting bones firmly planted on the floor, left hand out behind, right arm up and over, hooking to the outside of the left knee. Keep the shoulders right over the hips. All right, and release. Okay, we're gonna come to the front of our mat into Malasana. So you just step your feet to the outer edges of your mat, sink your hips down. So this is a really nice hip stretch. Bring your elbows toward your knees, hands toward your heart. Keep your spine nice and lifted, head is in line with the spine. And then actively use your arms to press your knees a little bit wider, stretching through your inner thighs. Take one more full breath here, and then we're gonna come into an arm balance. So we're gonna take crow pose. You'll take your hands to the mat at about shoulder distance apart, and then you're gonna heel toe your feet in. Bring your knees high up on the backs of your arms, and then just shift forward. Lift your toes off the floor, squeeze your toes and your heels together, bring your heels up towards your hips, and then work towards straighter arms as you practice the pose. And then option to take crow jump back. If it's in your practice, just shoot your legs back, land in chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Nice, Spencer, awesome. Good, Scott, good. I'm impressed, you guys, nice. Back to downward facing dog. Take one more full breath in downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Do a little bit of balancing here on one leg. So inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane pose. Step forward, reach your arms back. Last full breath in airplane pose. Inhale, tree pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Left foot to ankle, calf, or inner thigh. And then, of course, always options with the arms, whatever's most comfortable for you. Whatever makes you feel grounded and like you can control your breath. So just very slowly practice this transition. Take it from tree to airplane, and then we'll land an airplane lunge. So extend your leg back first, extend your arms back, find airplane pose first, and then step lightly back so you're in airplane lunge, and then release, hands to the floor. Step back plank, lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Full breath here. Okay, and then we'll balance on the other side. So lift your left leg, step through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Nice slow transition to airplane. Step forward, lift that right leg off the floor, extend the arms back. Squeeze your triceps so they're nice and tight, shoulder blades squeezing toward one another. Head is in line with the spine and 2 hips are squared. Last full breath. And then transition from airplane to tree. Spread the toes of your left foot wide so you have a nice solid foundation. Draw your tailbone down and lift through your chest so your sternum's pressing into your thumbs if your hands are at heart center. And then draw your right knee open. Transition slowly from tree to airplane lunge. So find airplane first. And take as much time as you need, no rush. Extend those arms back. And then we'll lightly step to airplane lunge. Hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Okay, come down onto your knees. We're gonna take frog stretch, which is a really intense hip opener and inner thigh opener. You have to be very mindful of your alignment in this pose, and if there's any discomfort, please back out of it. So basically turn sideways on your mat, and I'll turn to the right or whatever way you wanna turn. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly walk our knees a little bit wider. As we walk our knees wider, bring your ankles in line with your knees. Good, yes, so your shins are gonna come parallel to one another. Yep, open your legs. Good. Now, take your feet and then point them out. So your toes will be in line with your heels. Good, looking good everyone, alignment's looking nice. Okay, if you have more room, walk your knees out, walk your shins out, walk your feet out. So keep doing that until you're like, okay, this is as far as I can go. Looking good, okay. And then from here, option to come down onto your forearms. So we really wanna rest into this pose. It's pretty intense. Tom, your alignment looks really nice there. Keep your head in line with your spine. So your back is nice and straight, your spine is nice and long, and then really feel into this pose. So what you're gonna wanna do is just experiment a little bit. So you can rock yourself a little bit forward and backward. And again, as you hold the pose, maybe you walk the knees even further. All right, you should feel this in your outer hips, kind of a hard area for us to get to often. So this is a pretty unique stretch. And then obviously you're gonna feel it in your inner thighs as well. See if you can hold the pose for about 3 more long, slow, deep breaths. Last full breath. Okay, that's a doozy. Now, to get out of it, I wish you luck. And just bring your toes to touch, I guess. I don't know, however you want to do it. Holy cow, right? Do you feel that? It's a good one. It's a very unique stretch. Okay, you don't do a lot of things like that to get into the hips that way. So just walk your knees back toward each other and just sit on your heels and just rock around. Yeah, feel it. Good. Okay, so we're gonna start to wrap up our practice. We'll come down onto our backs. Let's take bridge pose first. So bring your heels in toward your hips, hands down onto the mat, and lift your hips. So this should feel like a nice counter pose to frog pose that we just did. Just opening up the front line of the body, the hip flexors. And then option for chest expansion if you want to interlace your hands underneath your hips and roll onto the backs of your shoulders and press into your hips, maybe or your heels, maybe wiggle your toes. And release. Bring your arms to goal pose and your knees to the right. Look to the left. Bring your knees back to center and release them in the opposite direction. Bring your knees back towards center. Hug your knees into your chest. Anything else you want before Shavasana? Now is the time to take it. When you're ready for Shavasana, you have a cool towel next to your head if you'd like to use it. And just settle into this pose. So this is still part of your practice. You're still here on your mat. There's nowhere else to be. Really come into a place of relaxation and rejuvenation. You can let go of all the control of the breath and just come back to the natural rhythm. Just get soft and heavy here, letting the ground support the weight of your body. Start to deepen into your breath. Awakening the body by wiggling toes and fingers, rolling wrists and ankles. Getting into a full stretch, reaching your arms up overhead, deep breath in, and then rolling onto one side. Taking this final moment here on our mats to acknowledge our practice. Set an intention for our day. Slowly come to a seat. Then find a nice tall spine, and we'll close our practice together. Let's bring our hands to our heart. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. When you're ready, let it go through your mouth. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. Namaste.